Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday, and we're out here on a little job where we did the embankment with the Mini on Thursday, and it's Saturday, so I'm gonna come out here and work for a little bit, and we're gonna do a little bit of bush hogging. So let's see what we got. All right, first job for the 120, and we're gonna doing a little bit of bush hogging. And I cut this lot last year, mowed it, and we did this part and the one behind it. I don't have to do the one behind it this time. I just got to do this part. This part wasn't too bad. It's like 4 acres-ish. And you can see it's not that overgrown. But this is what I would consider bush hogging. It's not really, you know, brush cutting. There's nothing in here that's really thick or heavy, and there's not much to it. You know, just these little, you know, gum bushes and some broom straw. You know, a little bit of grapevine, and some grass. There's just nothing in here that's super major. So we're gonna get this mowed down. I'm gonna start down here on this end. I got the truck parked down there, and I'm gonna try to come back tomorrow. I'm gonna work a couple hours today, and then I was gonna do the whole thing today, but Misty wants to go to some chili cook-off thing over down by the beach today at around 11 or 12. So we're gonna go do that. So I wanted to get in a couple hours with this thing, just kind of get familiar with it. So not much for that. I will say, so I'm running this thing on the standard flow or low flow. We're not running this on the high flow. So you can see I swapped. So these are 3/4. This is your high flow. This is your case drain. These are your high flow. These are 3/4, and these are your halves. This is your low flow or standard flow for running, like if you were doing a grapple or a 4-in-1 bucket, something that would not need high flow. The reason why is, so the high flow on this thing is programmable, but the lowest you can set it at is 30 gallons a minute. Well, the recommended flow for this pump, the maximum recommended is 27 gallons a minute, but I think when I bought it, they told me that it's actually rated to handle up to 30, but you know, you're kind of pushing it with that. So in here, I don't need high flow to mow this down. And what happens is, when you got the high flow going and those blades are spinning super fast, it just stirs up a lot more dust and debris, and you increase the risk of throwing something out into the road and whatnot. So if you're just doing like this bush hogging type work, standard flow usually works pretty good. So we're gonna run this thing on the standard flow. Should have no problems with that, and we're gonna get started. So let's get to it. So right at 2 hours worth of mowing, and I'm about a third of the way through this job. Very happy with the production. I couldn't believe we haven't had rain in weeks. You can see everything out here is just powder dry, powder. And back there in that corner back there, I don't know why, but it was a mud hole, completely soaking wet back there. I almost got stuck, literally. Like, I mean, I was rocking the machine trying to get out of a mud hole back there, and I don't know why it's wet back there. I mean, everything out here is powder dry. Everything I've been doing has been in powder dry stuff. And when I cut that the last time, all of that was pretty dry back there in that corner. And I don't know why it's holding water. I don't know why it's wet. But they've recently come through here and done some surveying. I mean, there's some survey stakes down there. You guys probably saw a few if you watched the video on from Thursday with me doing the embankment. So they've come through here and marked some, like there's a little pink ribbon. The surveyors came through here and marked some of these areas as delineated wetland. Does this look like wetland to you? I mean, that's so dumb. It's so weird. But the good thing is, in wetland, you can mulch and mow in wetland. You just cannot, you cannot disturb the ground as far as digging up stumps or digging ditches, or diverting the natural flow of water without having to go through a whole bunch of permitting and all that crap through the Army Corps of Engineers. So these ditches, I think, were done way before, you know, those were recent. No, I never saw any delineated wetland markers the last time I mowed this last year, so I don't know what's up with that. But I'm gonna have to do a couple things by hand. I did this ditch right here with the Mini the first time, and I forgot I did that, but I think I can get this with the skid steer. It's all pretty, when I did it the last time, this part was actually kind of wet, but it's pretty dry. I think I can get all this. Then when I come back, I'll just face the cutter back this way and make that work. But we can't get everything in here. There's a lot of real tight areas around these trees. They just want me to get what I can get, and just to keep this from getting completely overgrown. So very happy with this thing. It runs this cutter on the low flow or standard flow like a freaking champ. I'm so shocked at how powerful it is, because the deer would just kind of barely spin it up, just enough to just kind of knock down this little stuff, you know. But I'm only running it like 60-70% throttle, and it's spinning that thing like the deer would almost on the high flow. I mean, it's really powerful. So I'm very happy with that. One thing I did notice about this thing, this is a lot longer. It's narrower of a machine than the deer. It's actually a few inches narrower, but it's longer, probably because of the engine. And so when you're trying to come through here through these trees and make, like right there, if you were to kind of make that turn through there, and you can see the bumper, that big custom bumper that John put on there, it caught that tree. Because when you come through here, it's such a longer machine. When you make that turn, that ass end wants to kind of knock into trees a little bit. And I didn't have that problem with the deer coming through here for the most part. But yeah, it's kind of catching some stuff here and there. But the visibility is actually pretty good. It's better than I expected. The ride, oh my gosh. When I came through here with the deer, I could only mow for about 4 hours or so in here before it just completely messed me up. You know, it just beats you up. Those solid suspensions, those solid rail suspensions on, you know, your normal skid steers like your Tox and your Kubotas and Deers and stuff, beat you up going through here on this uneven ground over all these logs and sticks and stumps and stuff. This bogey suspension on this thing, just, oh my gosh, it's so nice. It just floats over everything. Just floats. It's so nice. And then it's got the air ride seat, and it just glides. Just glides. I love it. AC works great, will freeze you out. Runs this cutter like a champ. Really good on fuel, because I wasn't running it that hard. I only burned about 2 bars in 2 hours. So really happy with the fuel consumption. Yeah, I'm really happy with this thing so far. It did great today. I'm still getting used to it. It drives and handles completely different than the deer did. It's a completely different animal as far as the controls. I had to play around with some of the sensitivity settings on the joysticks a little bit, but it's great. When I come back tomorrow, I'll put you guys in the cab and we'll do a little ride along in the cab with some commentary. And yeah, I'll be back here tomorrow. I think I can get this done tomorrow. I mean, I got a third of this done in right at 2 hours, so I'm gonna try to do 5 hours tomorrow and just knock the rest of this out. I think we'll be good to go. And I may have a little bit of handwork here or there and clean up a few things, but you know, the skid steer part of it I'm gonna get done tomorrow. That's my goal, prayerfully, fingers crossed, God please. So hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm trying to time lapse some of this, but you know, it's kind of hard to see the machine through all those trees, but I'm gonna time lapse what I can. And yeah, so all right, I'll be back tomorrow. It's Saturday. I'm gonna go eat some chili. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. Bye everybody.